Hello there, this is Ajit, and today we will talk about how to solve any problem. I get a lot of emails from friends and colleagues and clients which ask me, how do I solve this particular problem? How do I grow a business? How do I grow my email list? How do I create a product? How do I solve a problem with my team member? And it feels like that businesses are about solving a lot of problems. I have a different view on that, and I want to share with you how really you can solve any problem while actually creating a new reality that will give you even better results than you initially thought you can get by solving that problem. Now, this happens in businesses every single day, right? We walk in, and then there is a situation and we got to solve it. And then another situation, we got to solve it, right? So this becomes the template that you can use every single time you encounter a situation that needs problem solving. I call this method DUSE, D-U-S-E, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this method down in the next 5 to 7 minutes, and I will also give you a case study so you can understand and try to make it a reality in your own situation right now. And if you are facing a problem, how do you use DUSE in your own reality to be able to solve the problem and create a new future for yourself every single time you encounter any problem in the business? All right? The D of DUSE stands for decision. Now you might go, Ajit, come on. Isn't that obvious, right? I know I have to make a decision. Of course I have to do it. And yes, that is the truth. But here is how you can look at decisions. One way of looking at decision is saying, here's the problem, I decided to solve it. Okay? Another way of looking at a decision is saying, here's a problem, what is the new reality that I need to create or want to create that I never have to think about this problem again? For example, and we'll walk through this whole example and you'll see how I use DUSE in my own business, for example, a couple of months ago, for almost a year ago, what happened is one of my team members decided to move to a different team. Now, this person was handling Facebook advertising for me, so it was kind of mission critical for my business because that was one of our biggest advertising channels. So I had to make a decision. The problem was a team member moving on and going to a different situation, going to a different team, and it was fair, it was honest, it was perfect. But at the same point in time, I had the problem of who will run my Facebook advertising. Now, a simple solution or the decision that I could have made is said, okay, let's hire somebody else. Nothing wrong with that generally, but the reality that I wanted to create is that I didn't want to think about every time I had a resource crunch in that area of my business. Now know that I'm not no traffic expert. What I really like to do, or Facebook expert, what I like to do is grow businesses. What really I am is an entrepreneur, right? So what I said is, okay, let's look at this problem in a very different way. The decision I made was, I don't want to be in a situation where I have to consistently fight the talent problem. So I had to find a new reality. I wanted my reality where Facebook becomes automated for me. How can I consistently make sure that I grow on my advertising channels, okay? So when I made that decision, I had to go and do what I call the U part of DUSE, which is understanding, all right? So I had to go in and I say, okay, if I have to really, I ran out of space there, but what if I have to really grow my Facebook advertising consistently every month on month, who is it that I can actually see who's consistently been able to do this? Now, understanding stage of DUSE simply means when you look at a problem and you decide to create an alternate reality, you go back and you study everything that is possible through books, through mentors, through masterminds, through programs, to understand that problem or that area of problem completely. Right? So what I went in and did exhaustive study on first Facebook. Then I went in and found other businesses that have been running Facebook for a really long time and Facebook advertising for a really long time. And I found that one of the ways that people have been running, among many other ways, one of the ways that they have been running was by actually taking their advertising and then deploying it through an agency, but creating a model within the company where you could control the expense and control the return on the investment that you make very easily, okay? So that's where I built that understanding of saying there are so many ways of solving the problem. And then I took the next step, which is S, which is strategy. So I went in and I called my buddies, my friends. I understood every kind of thing that I could possibly understand about Facebook advertising. And then I sat down with a piece of paper, wrote down all the items that can be done, or all the possible strategies that can be executed for me to be able to solve this problem, not for that one time, but to create an alternate reality where advertising just grows for my business. All right, so I wrote all of them down, and I found that if you actually get, and this is a strategy that you can use as well, is if you actually get somebody on your team who is a really good advertising, who have a really good understanding of understanding advertising, and at the same point of time are very good as taskmasters who can really follow up really, really well with different agencies, you can perpetually grow your advertising spend. That was the fundamental change on how you look at the strategy for Facebook advertising. So what I did is I wrote that down and I said, okay, that's the strategy that I need to go for, which is, yes, I still hire somebody on my team, but this person is not necessarily doing the work of launching new campaigns, but these people are actually going in and saying, okay, what is it that I need to look at numbers? What kind of numbers? What are different strategies? What are different deployment strategies for them to be able to keep consistently growing advertising using an agency? Now, that strategy has, of course, once the last part, which is E, execution happens, has helped us grow our advertising not by 10, 20, 30%. In just about 4 months, we've grown our advertising by 100%. We could invest 100% more investment into our businesses to get higher returns. And that could happen because we then took the last and the most important part. Once you've figured out the strategy, you can't leave out the execution. You can't go in and say, I made a decision and maybe I'll do this. You can't just put out the strategy and put it on a piece of paper and forget about it. You got to take the final step. The final step is probably the most important step in actually creating an alternate growth-centered reality for your business or your life, is to be able to execute. It's not a can-do, it has to be a must-do. And that's what happened is once we had figured out that strategy, we hired an absolutely wonderful person on our team that coordinates daily, weekly, monthly with different agencies which are running our advertising accounts and actually making sure that the execution is happening, having the right numbers to look at, having the right follow-up strategies, right communication strategies to make sure that that execution is actually happening. So when you want to solve a problem, don't just try to solve the problem, try to create a new reality that will actually eliminate the problem perpetually, because that gives you a new dimension of growing whatever you want to grow. Any problem that you want to solve can be solved using these 4 steps. Make a decision, create an understanding by studying and learning from individuals, go ahead and create one strategy that is congruent to you, congruent to where you want to go, congruent to where you feel right, and then go ahead and execute and learn from it. What will happen is, of course, now I want to grow my business even more, advertising even more. So I'll repeat the cycle and keep moving the business further, keep moving advertising further in my scenario. In your case, whatever that problem is, you'll keep solving a bigger and better quality of problems as your business and your life grows. Now, I'm certain that you're going to use DUSE in your life in many areas. I gave an example of how to use this in advertising, but you could use it for growing your business, you could use it for your personal stuff, you can use it anywhere. This strategy works. Share with me in the comments below, what is it that I can help with you next? Your questions actually inspires me to find models like these that we have been using in growing all our amazing businesses, and I learn from my friends and mentors and books to bring that, summarize it, and give it to you so we can have your business grow, your impact grow in the outer world. So go ahead and write a comment below, ask the questions that you might have so I can create answers around them. If you love and want to know more about the different videos that we'll be producing for your education, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because that way you'll get notified every single time we release a new video. And we release videos pretty much every week. So looking forward to seeing you around, and thank you.